ఇవాళ రాఘవరెడ్డి గారి జ్ఞాపకాలు అనే పుస్తకం ఒకటి ఇంగ్లీష్లో రాయబట్టం రాయటం అన్నారు. సింగిల్ ఫింగర్తో టైపింగ్ చేశాను. ఒకే నాకున్నది ఒకే కన్ను, ఒకే వేలుతో టైపింగ్ చేశాను. మొత్తం పుస్తకం అంతా అన్నారు. నేను పుస్తకం పూర్తి చదవలేదు కానీ ఐ సా ది ఫార్వర్డ్ రిటన్ బై ఆనందం గారు. And I heard what Mr. Rajasekhar had to tell about him. I definitely find time to read the book, and I am quite sure that many of the younger generation police officers will learn a lot from his experiences. And a very committed police officer. How much of good he can do the society. He will be a standing example according to what I learned in the past, and I wish him all the best. I also seek your permission. Thank you very much.
ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారికి జ్ఞాపిక బహుకరణ శ్రీ రంజిత్ రెడ్డి, శ్రీ రాఘవరెడ్డి గారు. సార్ వారు వేదిక మీద ఉన్నారు. రాఘవరెడ్డి గారి స్వగ్రామం వారస గ్రామం పక్కపక్క నిట. వారికి అనాదిగా స్నేహం ఉంది. వారితో ఆ మిత్రత్వాన్ని, ఆ వాత్సల్యాన్ని పురస్కరించుకుని లక్ష్మణ్ గారు సభకు ఇచ్చేశారు. ఇప్పుడు లోకాయుక్త ఫార్మర్ ఐజీపీ శ్రీ వెంకట్రావు గారు పుస్తకాన్ని సమీక్షిస్తారు. లక్ష్మణ్ గారు పుస్తక సమీక్షకు ముందుగా, వెంకట్రావు గారి సమీక్షకు ముందుగా పొన్నా లక్ష్మణ్ గారు ప్రసంగించబోతున్నారు. శ్రీ పొన్నా లక్ష్మణ్ గారు. పొన్నా లక్ష్మణ్ గారు రాఘవరెడ్డి గారి దుష్టాలతో సత్కరిస్తున్నారు. గౌరవం గారిని తీసుకుని తమ వాత్సల్యాన్ని, తమ అభిమానాన్ని, ప్రేమని, గౌరవాన్ని ప్రకటిస్తున్నారు. పొన్నాల లక్ష్మణ్ గారు వారి మిత్రత్వాన్ని గుర్తు చేసుకుంటూ వారికి దుష్టాలను అందజేశారు.
ఆహుతులైన రాఘవరెడ్డి గారి సహచరులు, అభిమానులు ప్రసంగించడం అంటే చాలా కష్టమైన పని. అభినందనలు తెలపడం, భగవంతుడు వారికి ఆయురారోగ్యాలను ప్రసాదించాలని కోరుకోవడం తప్ప మరొకటి ఉండదని నేను భావిస్తాను. వారితో చాలా సంవత్సరాల పరిచయంలో ఒక మంచి సలహాలు ఇచ్చే వారిగా, మా ప్రాంతపు వాడిగా, ఎంతోమంది పోలీసు అధికారులతో పరిచయం ఉన్న నాకు వారి పనితనం కానీ, ఇతరుల పట్ల వారు చూపే మర్యాదలు కానీ, సమాజం గురించి చేసే ఆలోచనలు కానీ, తమ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ద్వారా జరుగుతున్న కార్యక్రమాల మీద కానీ, ప్రభుత్వ పరంగా అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటివ్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో చేయాల్సిన పనుల గురించి కానీ చాలా వివరంగా, లోతుగా అధ్యయనం చేయడమే కాకుండా మాలాంటి వారితో అవకాశం దొరికినప్పుడల్లా మాట్లాడుతుండే రాఘవరెడ్డి గారు నిజంగా సమర్థతకు, అదేవిధంగా పనితనానికి ఒక ఆదర్శప్రాయుడిగా ఉండిపోయాడనే భావంతోనే ఈ 2 మాటలు చెప్పగలుగుతున్నాను. ఈ సందర్భంగా భగవంతుడు వారికి అన్ని విధాలా తోడ్పాటుగా ఉండాలని కోరుకుంటూ సెలవు తీసుకుంటాను.
ఫార్మర్ ఐజీపీ శ్రీ ఏ వెంకట్రావు గారు పుస్తకాన్ని సమీక్షిస్తారు.
Honorable Home Minister Sri Reddy garu, Honorable Minister for Major Education Sri Raghva garu, Justice G.Raghava garu, Padma Bhushan revered Rlease garu, former DGP, Padma Shri Dr. Raghva garu, Padma Shri Dr. Garu, and Sri Reddy Raghva. Distinguished members of the audience, ladies and gentlemen. As a former member of the Andhra Pradesh Police Service and thereafter the prestigious Indian Police Service, I stand before you to share and enjoy the resplendent aura and radiance of the book as I look back reminiscences of a police officer written by Sri G.Raghava, IPS retired. He is an illustrious former member of the HPS and the Andhra Pradesh Police Service and thereafter the Indian Police Service. He is now in his 80th year, but even while in his 40s, he achieved the distinction and status of an icon and lodestar of the police organization. This book further consolidates his high reputation and establishes for one and all to openly acknowledge that good name and fame are entirely based on facts and achievements. This book proves that gold is real gold, both literally and metaphorically, in respect of its author, Sri G.Raghava. His book, as I look back, is an unique synthesis of rules, values, deeds, performances, achievements, and police culture. At the macro level, such a combination is usually reflected in 3 genera of literary works and writings, portraying the greatness and glory of civilizations. For us, the Ramayana as a book of rules and values, the Mahabharata as a book of deeds and achievements through legitimate and rightful means, and the Bhagavad Gita as the rich treasure house of the wisdom of life and Indian culture, underscore the primacy of the right perennial values which govern life's processes and the nation's triumphant journey on the path of peace, progress and prosperity. Raghava Reddy's long and meaningful journey of life as a police professional, progressive and innovative agricultural scientist, social activist and dynamic senior citizen constitute the theme and stirring subject matter of his book. He sets out to establish in a convincing and resounding manner that what is true of a nation in terms of its growth and development through rightful means is equally true at the micro level of the police organization and in the pursuit of causes dear to his heart. His book is a combination of 3 genera of books, one of rules, regulations, values, the primacy of rule of law and due process of law. Second, of his deeds and achievements through the enforcement of statutory laws through rightful means, and the third, the police culture. He strongly and convincingly advocates the immediate and compelling need to reform the police and to it the society by insulating the police from money power and political interference and revealing its decadent and reversing its decadent professionalism. Born from the crucible of his life's experiences, the book contains distilled wisdom covering the fields of socio-economic and political matters, artistic, spiritual and cultural matters, police professionalism, besides other specialized areas of his multifaceted interest. What has impelled and motivated him to write this book is the strong spirit of public service ingrained in him, high standards of professionalism, unfaltering commitment to values and the rule of law, and zeal for reform, all calculated with strong and sincere desire to help improve the quality of professionalism and public life. The book is thus autobiographical, historical, training and reference manual for the police, the advocates, the courts and the administrators, all rolled into one. The police organization is entirely people-oriented service agency responsible for protecting, preserving and fostering peace, tranquility and public order, thus paving the way to the people to be able to meaningfully avail their fundamental rights and lead a life without any type of exploitation, discrimination or disadvantage. Another dimension of policing is preserving the stability of the state against movements like extremism, terrorism, etc. The police organization in enforcing various statutory laws, rules and regulations is responsible for enforcing the rule of law and stipulation of statutory laws, rules and regulations. Law is indispensable to order, and order is indispensable to peace, progress, socio-economic and political stability. In translating such indispensable requirements into a reality, the police is vested with a trusteeship responsibility. It was, I believe, Gandhiji who first stated that the police plays a trusteeship responsibility. This book succeeds in establishing by empirical approach and classic examples how this trusteeship responsibility is fulfilled to the entire satisfaction of the people within the four corners of law. G.Raghava Reddy's book, as I look back, is a comprehensive and convincing account of the philosophy of policing, unflinching commitment and adherence to the tenets of honesty, discipline, devotion, dedication, promptitude, perseverance, patience, humanism, rule of law, fair, objective and equitable enforcement of laws without fear, favor or bias. While a major part of the book is devoted to his beloved police profession and the resultant human and community interests, the safety and security of the state, the other subjects covered are of amazing and captivating versatility and expertise in their wide range and campus. All through the book, in its vast, variegated and thousand-hued canvas, Raghva Reddy integrates his multi-dimensional and multifaceted roles and expertise with what he did with commitment, courage and conviction. And needless to say, that in doing so, he firmly adhered to right means and the rule of law. Words, deeds and strength of character and conviction stand out in this book as in a benign and beckoning manner. Its simple and conversational style is alluring and captivating, with accompanying and powerful call and message to serve the people, the society and the state with honesty and in good faith. I will do well here to adhere with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of the one and only Sherlock Holmes, the personification of the master detective, stated through Dr. Watson. I quote, "It is a capital mistake to theorize in advance of facts." What I stated earlier, in fact, is based entirely on facts. Unquote. Pages 3 recreate his childhood, education, marriage and family life. 15 recount his experiences in police, professional and related matters. One chapter relates to vignettes on Mr. Raghava Reddy by his senior cousin, remaining to being a last word and acknowledgement. The book additionally is embellished by a foreword, preface, introduction, philosophy of life, the Telugu poem, prologue and grandchildren's talk besides messages by eminent personalities. Another attractive, memorable addition, enhancing the creativity, excellent and aesthetics of the book are the delightful, colorful and captivating photographs. But let me hasten to add here that the focus and underlying theme is the imminent need to reform and refurbish the police This account is suffused with the social mores, ethos and political developments of the period between 1928 to 1954. Blessed with a silver spoon in his mouth, Raghava lost his parents at the tender age of 6 years. However, on the initiative and help of the famous communist revolutionary of yesteryear, Raghva, he was taken to Hyderabad for studies. On the suggestion of Mahatma Gandhi, then visiting Hyderabad to inaugurate the Harijan hostel managed by Reddy, that there should be a boy at the first Mahatma Gandhi. The period spent in the Harijan hostel and the personal care and encouragement of great and eminent personalities like Reddy, Harish Chandra Heda and his wife Gyan Kumari Heda, philanthropists like Arvamudha Iyengar, who was later a very successful advocate and later a minister in the then Hyderabad state government, Padmarao Madhuliyar, another great social activist, and other such stalwarts fostered in him, in Mr. Raghava Reddy, sound values and right character traits which stood in good stead all his life. It also motivated him to pursue higher studies after matriculation after a gap of 6 years. During this interval, he was back in Pemberton managing his vast agricultural lands in Colin Park and Pemberton. Later, he passed his intermediate and graduation as a student of the Evening College, Nizam College, Hyderabad. Raghava narrates the social, spiritual and cultural activities of Colin Park and Pemberton villages, about the atrocities perpetrated by the Rajaseks in an unsuccessful bid to keep Hyderabad state as an independent entity, and the Telangana armed struggle carried out by the CPI. The great lesson that emerges from this period of his life is that seeds of good conduct and good habits sown in his childhood and youth grew and inextricably embraced and guided with unhesitating firmness in compelling grace all his actions, resulting in his enviable reputation and glorious achievements. He became a role model to his officers and champion of people's rights and the cynosure of their rights wherever he served. All his mentors who molded his character were men of high character and total altruism, motivating, inspiring and guiding others. They sacrificed all self-interest, as in the case of the noble couple Harish Chandra and Gyan Kumari Heda, who took a conscious decision that not to have their own children, as it would inevitably detract from their love towards their wards in the Harijan hostel. What a great sacrifice. Raghava Reddy was a beneficiary of Gyan Kumari Heda's tender motherly care and affection. Thus schooled and shaped into the youth of noble qualities of head and heart, Raghava Reddy imbibed the firm, fair and just attitude and the guiding principle of his life as Izzat, Imandari, Insaf and Insaniyat, that is prestige, probity, justice and humanism. This commitment to the guiding principle of his life and a burning desire to serve the people impelled him to opt for a career as a police officer so that he could spread and foster these tenets among the people. He did realize his ambition because he's made of stainless stuff, and that's the reason why he got enrolled, of course, on merit as a DYSP, first to the Hyderabad Police Service, and following the immediate merger of Hyderabad State into the Andhra Pradesh Police Service in January 1957. I have a message to shorten my talk. I will briefly summarize this. Among his countless achievements, I will briefly narrate from his book some noteworthy instances. Among his countless achievements, his alacrity, promptitude and thorough professional investigation of the murder of an advocate right in the court hall of the Municipal Magistrate Jektia. In this case, he took up the first investigation, though the sub-inspector and inspector were available on the spot. He was the officer who rushed immediately to the spot after making a GD entry, that is, without waiting for a complaint to be filed. He made a GD entry on the seat of information, proceeded to the scene of crime, recorded the statements, returned to the police station, issued an FIR, held the inquest where he almost compelled, because the municipal magistrate, though an eyewitness, was not willing to depose or give statement at the inquest. He contacted the district judge and made the municipal magistrate a witness at the stage of holding the inquest. Of course, this heinous crime was committed by two hired assassins due to the thoroughness of the investigation and promptitude. The case ended in death sentence for both of them. There are very many cases of this nature. I would recall one more case where his meticulous investigation, his keen sense of observation helped in detecting a double murder case and ensuring its conviction. In this case, I am very happy to share with you the information that a very highly professionally competent Inspector General of Police we had at that time, Mr. A.K.K. Nambiya, chose to visit the village where this crime was committed, lauded the thoroughness and the promptitude of investigation on the part of Mr. Raghva, returned to the headquarters and issued a circular to all officers in the state to emulate his example. Now, this incident also took place within the first few years of his service. Then, of course, there is another very famous incident some of you could perhaps remember and recall. A noble and inspiring incident of his rescuing a bewitching damsel in distress. This is the heading he has given. I have not coined this heading. He said, a damsel in distress. I think Mr. Raghva was also bewitched by her beauty at that time. After her abduction in a team operation as Assistant Commissioner of Police, Hyderabad, they rescued that girl, or a family woman, a married woman with a child, and the implication was the accused and the victim belonged to two different communities, and it had the potential to spark off a major communal riot in the city. But his promptitude of action saved the situation, and it was a happy ending. And one more thing Mr. Raghva Reddy recounts in this book is how the head constable almost sacrificed his life, went to the rescue of another very great police officer, Mr. Padma Rao Mudaviyar, who was an inspector of police at that time, rescued him right at the neck of time.